Hello everyone, it's Jules and welcome to Jules Reads. This is my weekly reading recap and today is January 15th, 2024. I'm a day late. I like to post these on Sundays, record and post on Sundays, but we had some plans this weekend, shockingly. It is bitterly cold out. I am in a hoodie. I almost put a stocking cap on. We have ice forming on the windows. I worked in new construction a while back, and one of the projects managers would always tell the buyers, if you start to see ice and moisture accumulate in the winter on your windows, it's not the windows, it's just that cold. So I live in Minnesota. I think it's like 0 degrees. So the wind chill's like -20 or something stupid. Why do we live here? I don't know. Anyway, so for my week in review, in these videos, I like to cover what I did for plans personally and what I watched on TV, like movies or TV, and then books that I finished, books that I'm currently reading, books I want to read, and then my plans for this upcoming week. So, and I always had my notes over here. So, what I did. So the plans that we did, which why I didn't post yesterday, is we went up north, yes, further north, where it's even colder, to our friend's house, and we just went to a couple bars and hung out at their place and played cards and some video games, that sort of thing. And so we made the journey back home yesterday, Sunday. So that was fun to hang out with friends. We don't see them but a few times a year, so that was really fun. And then what else did I do? I baked more sourdough bread. I'm loving making sourdough bread and it's so good. I did half wheat, half regular because I thought I was out of regular and I wasn't. And then what else did I do? Worked on my puzzle, and I read a bunch, and I did some collaging. So I have a weird hobby. Some people call it glue booking, some people call it collaging. I don't do the like surrealist collaging, but just an example is, so I'll take magazine images and I will put them together in some sort of format that makes sense to me. So I've always been a fan of paper and books and magazines, so that's an art. So that's kind of like the perfect hodgepodge of all those things that I love put together. So I do that as well. So that's what I've been doing, just hobbies. We're kind of hibernating. It's, middle of winter and it's cold and not very fun out. The sun is shining today, which is amazing. So for what I watched this week, just last night I watched Foe. It is a movie based on the Ian Reid book, which I do own the book. I have not read it yet. And I'm kind of glad that I watched the movie first because it was a bit confusing and I'm not sure if I would have grasped all of it in here, especially in the ending. So I have read an Ian Reid book before. I'm thinking of Ending Things, I think it was called, which was also a movie. I did really like the book, and from what I'm learning about Ian Reid, his books are a little bizarre, a little confusing, and I think you're meant to be confused, and maybe even the characters are confused, but I enjoyed the movie. I don't think it's getting very good reviews, like on IMDb and other places, but I really liked it, and the ending it wasn't really shocking. I'm like, oh, that's what was going on, and I don't know, I liked it. I love the two actors in it, so I enjoyed it. It wasn't like amazing, but I enjoyed it. And that was on Amazon Prime. And then I watched with my husband the movie Dumb Money. And I think we bought this on Apple. It was like $6, and we really liked it. I had no idea about this GameStop snafu. I'm sure it's more than a snafu, but I had no idea about the GameStop thing a couple years ago, and it's crazy how fast this movie was made and came out because this only took place a couple years ago. So we really enjoyed it. It was quirky, it was funny, and tons of great actors and actresses in it. So we really liked it. I had a good time. I had texted one of my friends that she should watch it, and so she watched it and she said, "That's great. It has the guy from Tommy and Pamela on it." I'm like, Sebastian Stan, I love him. You should watch Fresh. So she watched Fresh, and then all of her texts were, "What did you make me watch? I'm never listening to you again. This is horrible." I loved Fresh, but she was not getting on with it. So I thought it was pretty funny. I woke up the next morning to all these texts about how she did not like Fresh. It's not for everyone. but it's campy. It's not what you think it's gonna be. It's horror. I really liked it. And it's Sebastian Stan and Phoebe Edgar-Jones. Phoebe, I don't know her name. But she's in it from Normal People. I really liked it. Anyway, I did not watch that. I should watch that. So there we go. I watched 2 movies. Otherwise, I'm just kind of watching things in the background while I do my puzzle or watch YouTube videos. So what did I finish this week for books? I finished my book club book, which is Daughter of Fortune by Isabel Allende. And I loved it. I did do this on audio, and the audio was really great. So this is about a Chilean woman back in the 1840s so she travels from boat to California during the kind of the gold rush time frame. And it's about her searching for her love, her lost love. So I really liked it. I liked the relationships in this. And I don't know that I've ever read a book during that time period in California. So I really enjoyed it. I definitely want to read more by this author. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, or could be 4.5 out of 5. But I really like this and want to read more by this author. So the other book I finished, I've already lent it to my friend that's up north. And it is The Book of Lost Names by Kristen Harmel. And I loved this book. I don't know why I've been sleeping on Kristen Harmel, but the writing just worked for me. It's very simple. There is some beautiful lines in it, and it moves quickly. There's not a huge amount of detail to get lost in. It's the right amount of pages. I absolutely loved it. So this is a kind of a dual timeline. It mostly takes place during World War II. There's a little bit of 2005 where you're looking back at this woman who was a forger during World War II in France. And so it's about her time during World War II as this forger and the love interest in it, or the love story in it, and her helping children get out of France into Switzerland. I'm literally getting goosebumps talking about it. I loved the story. I loved the ending. It was a beautiful story. I've already recommended it on Facebook and other places, and already lent it to my friend, and I have another friend that just bought it and she's loving it too. So I loved it. I think I might become a historical fiction fan. I'm realizing, oh, okay, I'm really liking books that are historical fiction. So you might see that my book haul for this week has some of that in it. So actually I forgot, I usually talk about my book haul before I talk about the books I read. So let's talk about my book haul. I gotta get my glasses for this because I might have to read some. So we have Another Brooklyn by Jacqueline Woodson. I heard about this from Jack Edwards. So this is, let's see, oh, and I love that. Yeah. For August, running into a long ago friend sets in motion resonant memories and transports her to a time and place she thought she had mislaid. 1970s Brooklyn, where friendship was everything. So I got that. It's a pretty short book. So the next book that I got is Sarah Waters' Fingersmith. I've heard about this for quite a while. It's been on my wish list for quite a while. So this is London, 1862. Ooh, historical fiction. Now, is a historical fiction if it just takes place in the past? Or to be historical fiction, does it have to be based on something that really took place, like World War II or the Gold Rush? I don't know. Sue Trinder, orphaned at birth, grows up among petty thieves, fingersmiths, under the rough but loving care of Mrs. Suxby and her family. One day, gentleman, an elegant con man, arrives with a proposition for Sue. If she works as a maid to Maud Lily, a gentlewoman, and aids gentleman in her seduction, they will all share in Maud's vast inheritance. I feel like I've read a Sarah Waters before, and I didn't like it. Is it The Paying Guest? I could be absolutely wrong there, but we will see. But it's highly rated, and there we go. It's historical fiction. Here we go. More historical fiction. So this is Where the Lost Wander by Amy Harmon. And this is The Overland Trail in 1853. Naomi May never expected to be widowed at 20. Eager to leave her grief behind, she sets off with her family for a life out west. On the trail, she forms an instant connection with John Lowry, a half-Pawnee man straddling two worlds and a stranger in both. So that should be good. I've heard good things about Amy Harmon. I've never read from her before. So I picked up another Amy Harmon, What the Wind Knows. And this is Amy Gallagher grew up enchanted by her grandfather's stories of Ireland. I love books that take place in Ireland. Heartbroken by his death, she travels to his childhood home to spread his ashes. There, overcome with memories and the man she adored, and consumed by a history she never knew, she is pulled into another time. Oh, is there time travel in that? I do not know. This is completely different, and this is called Woman Eating by Claire Kohta. I've seen a couple people list this as one of their favorite books of 2023, and this is like a gothic, I believe, a gothic vampire story, but not your normal vampire story. So, where's the... A young mixed-race vampire must find a way to balance her deep-seated desire to live among humans with her incessant hunger in the stunning debut novel from a writer to watch. A debut. Wow. Okay. And then I got, because I know the show is coming out and it already has the stupid Netflix sticker on it, but it's The Three Body Problem. And I'm not going to try to pronounce that because I will butcher it. Cixin Liu, translated by Ken Liu. So I don't like it when I need to get books way before they come out so they don't start adding all of the TV and movie stickers and covers on the books. But I really don't know anything about this except for it seems sci-fi. I love sci-fi. Where's the synopsis? It's not on the back. Oh, experience beloved science fiction author Cixin Liu's award-winning and best-selling masterpiece, Three Body Problem, a groundbreaking novel of enormous scope and vision. I don't know what the synopsis is, but I'm looking forward to reading that before watching the show. It comes out maybe April, sometime in the spring. And then I have two books that were gifted to me. So I have True Biz by Sarah Novick, and a coworker gave this to me, and I know that she told me she found it at like a used bookstore, and she's like, we talked about it, so I just picked it up for you. So she really enjoyed this book. I have our holiday card right here, super cute. So, and I think this is about a deaf school. True Biz. The students at the River Valley School for the Deaf just want to hook up, pass their history finals, and have politicians, doctors, and their parents stop telling them what to do with their bodies. I'll probably love this. So I heard that, she said that's really good. So I'm excited to read that. And then The Friend Up North, we usually exchange books, and she doesn't typically want her book. She's not a book collector like me. But it's the Dolly Parton and James Patterson Run, Rose, Run, and she really enjoyed this. So this is a new singer arrives in Nashville. She calls herself Annie Lee Keys, and she has more beauty, talent, and ambition than most, and a dangerous past that she's running from. Her performance of original songs at open mic night at the Cat's Paw Saloon downtown transfixes Ethan Blake, backup musician for country star Ruthanna Ryder. So it makes sense that there's a musician background to this. So I have looked at that, getting that before, but so now it is somewhat gifted to me or pay it forward type of situation. So it's a lot of books to read. I just keep collecting them, but I am reading more these days, which is good, especially now that it's winter. So let's see. Books I'm currently reading. I talked about the books I'm finished this week, which is 2. Currently reading, well, I'm currently reading these books, which I read too many books at a time. I know this, but I like to bounce back and forth. So since I finished the Daughter of Fortune on audio, I am now reading Demon Copperhead on audio. The sun is bright. Wow, I can barely see it. So, and I'm loving it. Loving it. The audio, at first I was wasn't sure about the narration, the accent, but it's really working for this book and I'm really enjoying it. It is about a boy growing up in, I think it's Appalachian and he's growing up in poverty, and it's all about his mind. He has a very mature mind, but also some of the things he says, you're like, oh, well, he'll figure that out as he grows older. But it's just really good. I love the being in his head and having him voice the book. So this is my first Barbara Kingsolver book, and I'm really enjoying it. The audio I highly recommend. And then I just started, which my husband gave me this book for Christmas, I Shall Wear Midnight by Terry Pratchett. So I just started it, only on page like 30, and I'm enjoying it. I think this is actually young adult, and it is in the middle of a series, but I think in that series, and let me know if you know, but I think you can kind of jump around. You don't have to start at the beginning. So it's fun, it's quirky, and I'm liking it. And then I am also reading Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I'm liking it. It is kind of a, obviously, Gothic tale, and I think it's going to be a haunted house. I haven't quite gotten that far yet, and I tend to not read a lot of the synopsis of books because I don't want to know too much going in, but I'm enjoying it so far. Still reading Night of the Living Rez. I might just have to put it aside for now. I'm realizing I'm not a short story person, and I might just have to put it aside so I can stop talking about it maybe until I finish it. I think let's do that. So I haven't even read anything since last week in that book. And then this one I'm almost finished with, and it is The Talk by Darren Bell. He's the winner of a Pulitzer Prize. So this is a graphic novel, and it's really good. It is about him being, his mother is white, his dad is black, him growing up in the 80s, 90s, and he is an artist, a cartoonist, and the talk reference is about his mom having to have the conversation about him, about staying safe, being a black man, what he can do to stay safe and protected, and it's different than white people growing up, so it's really good. But there is some other things going on about his art and becoming a journalist and all of that, which I really love. And it's fast-paced. It's all the way from, I think, 6 years old to right now he's in college. So I'm really enjoying this. Almost finished. It's a graphic novel, so it's a quick read, but I'm just got back to it today. So, and then for want to read, just finishing up these books, finishing up Mexican Gothic, I Shall Wear Midnight, and The Talk this week. And then for plans this week, we're going to play trivia tonight, and my birthday is this week, so I have some lunch plans with my mom, some golf simulation with my husband, and some dinner, and then just more relaxing and hibernating, working on my puzzle that I'm still working on, and reading more. So yeah, that is what I have for this week, and let me know what you guys are reading if you're liking it, and hope you're staying warmer than we are here in Minnesota. Thanks for watching.